Good day and welcome to Xuviate Business Agility Daily, where we help leaders reimagine how work gets done. Today, I actually want to make a controversial statement, and that is that you need to stop projects to get more projects done. Do you struggle to complete projects in your team or your organization as a whole? And those that get done, are they mostly over time and over budget? How did I know? If you are in this situation, then you're not alone. Actually, most companies sit with this problem, especially in these turbulent times where we need to out-innovate our competition. Two fairly recent examples that I know of is that we found 130 active projects in a company of 100 people. Or that another coach told me of a project team of about 75 people in a corporate that had 258 projects in flight. But this sounds normal, you would say. Why is this a problem? I want to show you one more example that we were involved in a while ago, and that highlights the problem nicely. I think it was about 2 years ago that the company asked us for help. They realized they need to invest in technology, and all their teams did actually have initiatives and projects running. But weirdly, nothing was getting completed. And on closer inspections, all fingers pointed at the IT team as the bottleneck for those technology projects. This was a small IT team of 3 people. And when we really started looking a bit deeper, we found that there were 29 projects that had been started or were in different phases of planning. Except for one big project that probably would take half a year's time of an IT team, none of those projects needed more than 4 weeks of time from the IT team. Mostly it was only 1 to 2 weeks. So why didn't get anything done? When we went a bit deeper and on closer inspection, we found that all but 5 of these projects actually needed the one senior resource in the team. So that was about 25 projects where we had the one person that was a bottleneck. And as I again said, it was not much more than 1 to 2 weeks of that person, sometimes even a lot less. But when we summed it up, this suddenly came to 60 weeks of work that was in the pipeline for this person. And what was even worse is that person only had 3 days per week available because they were doing the escalated support as well. So if we're looking at that, we see that we have got 100 weeks of project work in there. That means that is the next 2 years to deliver these projects. So what should we do with this? And it's actually something that we see a lot being done during this COVID crisis. And that is that companies stop all projects and they focus a dedicated team on the one problem, which is the lockdown or the survival of the company or the business continuity plan. And they meet regularly and they really drive this one project forward and stop everything else. In this example, we actually did the same. We stopped all 29 projects. Then we prioritized them and we released them one at a time. 2 weeks later, we already had 3 projects done. About 2 months down the line, we had 8 projects done. One thing that was actually even more interesting and important is once we started prioritizing and once that resource constraint became known, about 10 of these projects were actually never started. So as I said, this specific problem is so nice because it highlighted one resource. Normally it's a lot more intertwined and not so easily visible. But the actionable tip for today is one of the Kanban mantras, and that is stop starting and start finishing. Or if you did already start too many projects, I would even simplify it to stop and start finishing.